How many times do you hear, what can a coach do on match day? You know, you prepare through the week, you put your game play, and then it's just let them play. It's not. And Longmuir has had an influence on this game.
Everything you hear internally, Gaz, in the football world, and people that talk to Just Longmuir and that have had dealings with him say he's a very good coach.
Yep.
His ability to simplify a message, to see the numbers, to read the numbers, and then simplify it and communicate it to his group, it's an art form. And he's done that really well. And he had a great explanation post-game, which he was probably more open than most coaches are, Gaz, just about their contest work early, which was a real concern, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, well, let's listen to Justin Longmuir.
We just didn't get some things right in that first quarter, mainly based around our contest and our contest method. We just had players looking to receive the ball lateral rather than backwards, which left us vulnerable when we didn't quite get it right around the contest. So, yeah, I thought we got our contest method right in that, well, for the rest of the game, really.
So it's one thing to identify, it's another thing to coach it, and then yet another thing to have it executed.
Yeah, so tick, tick, tick for Fremantle on the weekend, because at quarter time they're getting smacked in contested ball. Well, not smacked, but they're not getting it sort of necessarily on their terms. So he comes in on the back of conceding 5 goals against Geelong at quarter time. Yeah. Clearly the adjustments got made, and from there they completely strangled the Cats. So for the second and third quarter, the Cats just could not win it and they couldn't move it. And this is what Fremantle have done consistently to sides this year. There's nothing really all that sexy about the way they're getting it done, but they're sort of taking the opposition to deep water and asking them if they can swim, and so far no one's been able to.
They scored 9 points in the middle 2 quarters, the Cats. They were fantastic. And
I'm going to ask you this question. Sometimes you do a player interview and you just go, oh, yeah, he's happy to have his head on telly so he can show mum. Other times you listen and you get an insight into what's going on. And Andrew Brayshaw's one of those types. He's a deep thinker. He knows what's going on. So he was spoken. You get an insight into what was again coached, and then you can show us how they went about executing it.
We've played a few teams that roll around like they do, so we're really trying to look low, look lateral. And we saw a couple of times when we did look open side, we had really good opportunities going forward. So what's that mean? Just take us into that then. So there's the bloke who tells you exactly what they wanted to do.
Oh, absolutely. And I love you. Spot on. I played a lot of junior footy at this ground. It's a skinny bloody ground, Gaz. So it's hard to play on, especially for opposition team. Look at the way they set up. So, and then they just spread the ground. So they make the skinniest ground in the AFL look like the widest ground in the AFL. Yeah. So they pull the Cats out of the middle of the ground and then they go back in. And the ability to lower the eyes. So we know the Cats defenders like to roll back, waiting for that longer kick. And the Fremantle guys shows me they're really coachable as well. So they've got great structure, but they're very coachable week to week, because obviously Longmuir came in with a plan. He instructed Brayshaw and all the boys, hey, boys, you've got to lower your eyes going in. So that was a great illustration of exactly what Brayshaw was talking about.
Yeah, great vision there. Tell me about Blake Acres, who you played with at St Kilda, who was essentially the proverbial steak knives in the Brad Hill deal.
Yeah, well...
Did you see this in him?
Flashes, Gaz. I mean, he's always been an incredible athlete who could do some stuff that just made you scratch your head in a positive sense, and then can do the opposite at times in a negative sense. But he just looks like he's found his feet at the level as an AFL footballer, and he's been an incredibly consistent... He's a lump of a lad. Like, he's that genuine big-bodied midfielder that we speak about, the best players in the game. So... Awesome numbers.
They stack up pretty well.
They do. And then the performance on the weekend, I think, like the cream to be able to finish in front of goal like he did when he intercepted that footy, he's been a great pickup.
And just looking at the behind the goals vision, he plays a bit like Melbourne. He plays his wing. He just plays the one side. Holds his width. Yeah, he's very disciplined, so it's good.
Again, and I don't underestimate coaching in this. You know, get someone who the player relates to, and then they're able to... I think it's a great art to draw the best out of the players by the end of their careers.